Oh, hello. This episode is brought to you with the support of our backers over at patreon.com/cinemaswirl. Since the last time we talked about this, we've been absolutely blown away by the amount of support we've received. We've already reached a couple of our goals, which means we'll be able to do some cool stuff, including getting me and Kevin in the same room to record again for a few special occasions, and creating some new merch. Oh, and we're perilously close to reaching our goal to make me watch the extended edition of Lord of the Rings Return of the King. If you want to join the party, you can do so over at patreon.com/cinemaswirl. $5 backers will get access to our new monthly show, Cinema Swill, where we look at some pretty crap movies. Episode 1, Super Mario Bros. Is out now, and Episode 2, Jack and Jill, will be out very, very soon. Plus, if you backers with any amount, you'll get access to the brand new Cinema Swirl Discord server, which has been a really nice way for our community to hang out and talk about all sorts of things. Post pictures of our pets. I'm in there quite a bit talking about fizzy drinks. It's great. If that sounds like fun, or you just want to find out more, head on over to patreon.com/cinemaswirl. Alright, enough chit chat. Let's get swirling.
Cinema Swirl, episode 43. Everything is alright. Kevin and Sam will tuck you in at night, and if you want to be a man with Pepsi, you won't find nobody else like me. Yeah! Knocking on the doors of Hollywood all the way through Tinseltown. It's Kevin here, who's seen films, along with my OTP Sam, who is not.
Hello.
How are you today, Sam?
I'm alright, thank you. I'm not too bad. Pretty good today.
Feeling fast and breezy for episode 43Z.
You know it. You know it.
So, you have been living in a post-Two Towers world. How's life been treating you with the newfound knowledge that it wasn't the worst thing ever, and everyone really enjoyed the episode?
It was well received. It was well received.
Incredibly well received.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm still iffy about that star wipe rating, but I can't take them back. Once they're gone, they're gone. Once they're out the door, you can't undo.
That's it. I'm sorry I started. I'll have to ask you to finish. that was what it was. So I listened to the episode back, and I must agree with you. There was something a bit off about that star wipe rating. And unlike Lord of the Rings, which, in this third installment, let's just say, it hits the note of it being the final thing over and over again. This is very much the star wipe equivalent rating of being taken off the toilet mid-poo and the doorbell rings, and it's like, oh, 3. The rewind button hits, and then you just have to quickly take small steps down the stairs. It felt like that was perhaps not your most dwelled on final answer,
Well, it was quite funny because in the edit, I realised that in the pre-swirl section, which we recorded the day before, so I was a bit lost and forgot what I'd said. I went, I'm not going to just be like, it's alright, 3 star wipes. I actually said that. In the pre-swirl bit, and then at the end I'm like, it was alright, 3 star wipes. It was a bit of like foreshadowing that I put into the start of the podcast.
It's true what they say, Sam. We become what we hate. And it's true what they say, we become our fathers. So I guess it's true what they say, daddy or chips.
Yes. Since then, we have launched the Patreon, and that has been wonderful, and thank you very much to our backers. Interestingly, regarding Lord of the Rings, one of our stretch goals is to make an episode where we watch the extended edition of the Return of the King.
Oh, man.
We will get round to it anyway, but if we get to a certain amount, we will watch the long version and talk about the long version, and we'll do it straight away as soon as we hit that amount, which is going to be awful.
So we'll strap a rocket to it. Is that what you're saying? You're going to hashtag get a rocket strapped on?
Yeah, I think a lot of the Patreon goals have been based around my suffering, which it's a nice thing to market and to monetize.
Oh, the suffering, is it? The suffering. I may call you out on this, actually.
Let's go back to that star wipe rating. Just edit in a clip of me going, 3 star wipes, it's fine.
I've got a bone to pick with you, Chaplin. I've waited a long time to say this. But, right, your supposed misery, which almost always now seems to involve you eating crispy M&Ms. How many fucking bags have you been through in the last 2 months? I hate them. Like, yeah.
Right.
I know this now. I know this fucking game.
All right, Shane Dawson coming at me with your conspiracy theories. Knock it off. That's a very topical reference for like right now, but
that's
going to
vintage
age poorly.
February 2019 right there, folks. I'm just saying, Sam, when I started down a path of eating pork scratchings after becoming a vegan, you were quick to point out to me the hypocrisy of my ways. And Jacques Hughes, my good friend Jacuzzi over my Jacuzzi. I'm in the fucking jacuzzi over here right now, and the bubbles of controversy are steaming up. Seriously, are you gonna admit that I hate all this candy, all this sugar, and fucking, come on now, you're loving this. You're loving this.
Yeah, they're all right. 3-star wipes. I still don't like them. They're the worst M&Ms.
If I don't get my way on my Twitter poll, I'm going to have a fucking toe in the hole for my tea on Sunday. Like, come on now.
All right.
We know you love us.
They're nasty.
What has grown on you more? Crispy M&Ms or Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers?
Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Interesting.
Yeah, crispy M&Ms, they're the worst M&Ms, and they're not a good snack.
Not a good snack.
The texture is weird. The texture is strange.
Come on now.
And it's...
The texture of this conversation is weird. Let's hit into that mailbag.
Welcome to the mailbag.
Yo, you're in the mailbag.
This first question came in to cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
That is cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
And this is from Mike Hatfield, who asks, you can replace any actor in any movie with Jared Leto. Who would you choose? Winky face.
Oh, man.
I love the winky face at the end. Just like, oh, hey.
Oh, man, that's difficult. I mean, Sam, the real question is here, what movie do you want to turn upside down, inside out, and goddamn side to side? Whoa. I mean, maybe I put him instead of Dennis Quaid in the movie Twister, because that's one of the most twisted cats in all of Hollywood, baby. Woo!
My answer for this, and this has become kind of my go-to answer for anything, is Samwise Gamgee. I think just having Jared Leto as Sam would be wonderful miscasting. But he would really go for it. He would put on, like, a bit of weight. He would, like, shave, like, bits of his bone off so he was shorter.
Oh, that's because I was about to say there, I was like, oh, that's bad casting, Sam, because he'd be way taller than Frodo, and he'd look a sight like...
He's fucking method, mate. He's going to cut off his feet just to be able to play that role. He's so dedicated to it. It'll be like a metamorphosis. He'll change entirely for the role.
Man, he is such a method that he would make Method Man go man. You know what I'm saying? Very much deep dives only. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing old Jared Leto in... I mean, if we're allowed to cross the streams over into Cinema Swill,
sure.
Our next Cinema Swill is Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. And I kind of feel that the only real true way to kind of get... I mean, the guy's... I'm talking like... Is he kind of like got some sort of a mental problem? Because he's got all these personalities and sides to him. He's such a deep, twisted cat that he could play his sister of himself as well, I think.
Right. Like a gritty reboot of Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
With
Jared Leto. And it's like, whoa, like Jill has laid out all of these knives in a very particular manner. Like, he's crackers, mate. He's bananas.
I can't wait until we do a film that does actually legitimately have Jared in it. It's going to be great.
There's part of me, like, there's this little 15-year-old, 14-year-old me that doesn't abide quality in any way, shape, or form, but is just a fucking never-say-die cartoon comic geek who's like, watch Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. What's Suicide Squad? It's got Killer Croc.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel that Cinema Swill could be a means to an end in that.
Oh, shit, we could put those... Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do those kind of films.
I'm thinking a DC Swill coming at you
do
real soon.
14-year-long Superman film that they had that was just fucking indulgent as shit.
And if Sam eats 2 bags of crispy M&Ms, we'll watch the extended version.
All right. This next question came in to facebook.com/cinemaswirl.
That's facebook.com/cinemaswirl.
And this is from Jessica Speed. How do you guys feel about seeing multiple films at the cinema in one day? I used to love...
Whoa, Sam, sorry. If you read that out slower than 15 words per minute, the question will explode.
Because the surname is Speed.
Have you seen Speed?
Nope.
Oh, man, come on. Look, you've been riding around on public transport all calm, unjustly. This must be rectified.
Okay, this question comes in from the film Speed, which asks, how do you guys feel about seeing multiple films at the cinema in one day? I used to love seeing 2 or 3 films in a day, but now I like to see just one and let the film settle before I see another. That's from Jessica Speed.
I mean, back-to-back films. I've heard of binging series, Sam, online on the World Wide Web, you know, but I've not...
What web did you say?
Hey, on all my favourite websites on my bookmark tabs, my taps. I've heard of binging series, but binging movies. I'll be honest, I don't know if a movie is a bingeable content, you know? I think it's hard to binge a movie. I've heard a lot of people saying that and it's also value for money as well, because they'll go into the cinema and they'll see something, then they'll get out, and when everyone goes to the toilet, they just slip into another movie.
Oh, no, that's not on.
No one's the wiser.
However,
apparently that's
very difficult to police. Like, you can't really...
I was going to say, like, you've been on the inside. Like, how would you stop that? I mean, the fact that you didn't even aware that this practice was going on under your very eyes?
I think it's to do with the showing times, and, you know, that there's not too much overlap in terms of films finishing, and it's, you know, they'd get caught out by the cleaners or something if they just went into a thing. Anyway, I have done this in a cinema.
Really? The bang bang of going to 2 movies in a row, or illicitly sneaking in, like?
No, I'm not a sneaker. I'm more of a training shoe. No, that's not good. When I started working at a cinema, they had a little thing for the staff where you would be able to get 2 tickets per week to anything you wanted to go and see. And I thought, well, I can see one film once with a friend, or
a mate.
Or a mate. A friend or a mate.
They didn't specify.
No. Or I can see 2 films in a week myself. Just alone, solo.
Oh, but did you do this one after the other then?
Yes, I did. This is the first... I think this is like it was very early on in me working at a cinema and having access to these free tickets. I don't remember what the first film was, but oh boy, do I remember what the second film was that I saw on my own.
Was it Suicide Squad?
No, it was David Brent, the movie. Yeah. It was me and 2 other people in the whole screen. It's quite late in the evening, and you don't want that to be the second movie you see when you see 2 movies in a row, you know?
Oh no. That's a difficult... I mean, that is, no matter what you see, that is the disappointing second movie.
Yeah, it was not... that film was not ideal.
Now, can I ask you a little bit about the mechanics of this? Because the only way I've ever heard of people doing this is legitimately illegally, which is go see a movie, then it's like, all right, we get out, stretch your legs, and let's pop into the other movie, right, as I've heard. But what happened in your case? Did you like, great movie, out you go, and then you like kind of, is there like a buffer, a safety zone for like a cool down, and then you're allowed to represent your tickets and then go back around?
I went out and then
did you go in for a little twirl? Did you go for a spin, like?
Yeah,
you know?
I went out, had a chat to some of my colleagues, and then went back through.
So you had a mosey is what you had.
I had a mosey. There was a little bit of downtime between the 2. Isn't it like when you get the train and you have to like get off at Newark Northgate and go to Newark, the other fucking Newark, and you have to walk through the thing. There's a bit of downtime.
You got to perambulate, a little perambulation.
Yeah. I love referencing those 2 train stations. Newark Castle and Newark Northgate, classic stations, but you have to walk between the 2. No, thank you. So yeah, but there were people who, in my cinema career, who would buy tickets for 2 films in a row. Like, there was a couple who said, we do this all the time. We've seen 3 in a row once. We make a day of it.
Well, you know, my dad loves this concept. I think he may have officially given up on it. But one year he was like, what if we watch all the Lord of the Rings movies? And then, it's like on a day. And he's out like a light.
Yeah.
But by the time they're in Rivendell, like, you know, it's like, well, we've got 2.5 more movies to go. And I do remember when Star Wars came out in video, the remastered trilogy, after I'd seen them in the cinema, I got for Christmas, I got the gold Darth Vader head that had the 3 videos of Star Wars. Right. And I'm like, well, I'm 10 and there's no way I'm not watching every single one of these. And I got through 2, and then it was like, they're on the sail barge in Return of the Jedi, and it was 2 a.m, and it was like everyone had gone to bed, and I was told I had to go to bed right now. And there's no, I don't know, and I reckon if I can't make it work as a child, how can I make it work as an adult?
It's too much, isn't it? And it's one of those things where, you know, people say, you were jokingly saying, I've heard about binging a series. I think it's to do with the structure of episodes of TV versus the structure of a film. It's a lot to go through that arc twice in a row. Whereas TV shows, they have a nice, neat little everything's back where it started. If it's a comedy, or it gives you a nice start and finish within half an hour chunks or hour chunks. Whereas a film,
I don't know. I'm trying to think if we could pick 3 movies to watch in a row.
Sorry, that just instinctively that hurt my heart.
Yeah, I can't think of any 3 movies I'd want to watch in a row.
Have you ever done one of those marathons before a new release?
Yes.
For Star Wars or anything like that? Or just a marathon in general?
I've been to a marathon once. My brother went to this phase, and I'm not entirely sure what inspired it.
Yeah.
But things like Fright Fest and stuff like that they're in Edinburgh and London, where it's like, wow, 900 hours of movies in a row.
I think my brother went to one of those.
Yeah, and I did one with my brother. I did one day of one, and we came in around 11 in the morning, and we finished at like 3 or 4. We left early because it was going all night, and I was like, you know what? My legs are so dead right now.
Yeah.
Ironically, when you're in a place where you want to go to something like that, you're not in any way in the shit. I mean, I get really sore in the cinema if I'm there for longer than 2 hours. It's like a bus journey for me. So being in there and eating all my meals in the cinema, like getting food from like nice food carts, even if it's nice food, I don't know. I get a sense of lethargy. I can feel my blood pressure rising when I'm sat down for that long. So I just personally, it's not for me. I know people get a great satisfaction, a great sense of community of like, whoa, we watched all these movies together. And when I was at the Fright Fest in Edinburgh, it was like, no, I'm definitely going home right now. It's like 2 a.m, fuck this. And they're like, the next movie is a Mormon zombie movie. I'm like, okay, I will stay another 100 minutes,
I've just remembered I also watched The Force Awakens before then watching The Last Jedi at midnight.
Oh, that's a long slog.
And Kevin, I fell asleep during The Last Jedi, the film I paid money to see. I thought, well, I want a recap of the previous new Star Wars, so I'll go and see them back to back. And I was so knackered because it was a midnight release, and I watched a 2-hour something movie before it.
Yeah, that's really interesting because
had a big fucking sleep during The Last Jedi.
Like, if you're there and you go asleep, at the start of the movie, and you're there with all the people who are really excited to see The Force Awakens, and they're all like all giddy, and you're like, yay! And then you fall asleep and you wake up. Imagine kind of like a 28 Days Later scenario where this horrible event has happened that has upset a lot of people. By the way, I love The Last Jedi, but people get so upset by that movie.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of you waking up and there being like flaming wreckage and pitchforks and like, what's happened? I was but napping for 30 minutes.
I told several people at work that I was going to do this and that I was going to watch the new Star Wars film, and I had to come in the next day and pretend that I had seen it. I'd be like, it was great, I loved it, and then later in the week go back and watch it like at a more reasonable hour.
That's how Lucasfilm gets the big bucks. You have to go and see it twice. Like, and how did those ticket sales show up with the person who had to buy it twice because they didn't get to see it the first time accidentally? Exactly the same, sir.
Lucas!
Yeah, it turns out Hollywood, Sam, far from being a dream factory, is a business. Don't be fooled by the special effects.
Now, Kevin, I've been totally recalling some of these great cinema memories that I've had in my life.
Wow! Whammer! Boom.
What film are we covering today on Cinema Swirl?
Sam, there are many movies which I could say have a hot contender for being my all-time favourite movie.
Wow.
And we're about to watch one that is right the fuck up there.
Holy shit, okay.
We are about to watch my favourite Arnie movie by far, the Paul Verhoeven classic, Total Motherfucking Recall. Sam, I love watching Arnie movies on Cinema Swirl with you.
That sounded like a nice, neat little promo there.
It did. It's what it is. Arnie, he inspires passion and succinctness. That's how he goes about his business.
I've enjoyed the Arnie movies that we've seen so far. I'm a big Arnie enthusiast based on what I've seen in the Swirl.
Terminator.
Yeah.
We had, Terminator 2, I should say.
Yeah.
We had Commando.
Yeah.
We have also had
Cheney.
Predator. Cheney.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way, lest we forget. Out of those handsome 4 films, which of those would you say is your favourite?
It's between, I think, Terminator 2 and Jingle All the Way for very different reasons.
What are the reasons for your liking of those? Because Arnie, a very broad church are Arnie movies, I will say.
Broadchurch.
Broadchurch.
So Terminator 2, I have fond memories of that because it was episode 2 of Cinema Swirl.
Diddly do.
Diddly do, episode 2. Right in those early days. Very exciting. Not now where I'm bored of it and I hate it. It's like when I was...
Enough with the films already. Jeez.
And it was just a really fucking good, fun action movie. It was really, really good and enjoyable, and I had a good time watching it with my good friend Kevin Mahan on Cinema Swirl.
A romp, I would say, is a good way.
And Jingle All the Way was a similar kind of feeling, but in a more Christmassy comedy way.
Right.
Yeah.
The man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's safe to say you're familiar with the work of the man now. I mean, would you say you anticipate quality when Arnie is attached to the film?
I anticipate a good time, which is different from quality.
Absolutely.
But, I anticipate I'm going to have a good time watching this. It could be quality. He's been in some quality films. He's been in some bad-ish films that are made better through him just being in it and his presence.
If it wasn't for him, most of his movies, I think, would not be watchable.
No.
But by virtue of the fact that he is in them, this fascinating, weird presence.
Yes.
It's kind of, all right, the movie has to work extra hard to kind of overcompensate in this weird way, but he still, very much knows what he does, and he does it very goddamn well. A name I'm going to throw at you, the director here, Paul Verhoeven. Do you remember what other movie we've watched on Cinema Swirl that was directed by this man?
I was going to say it's one of the Alien sequels, but they were Wibbly Wobbly Scott.
Riddler Scott.
RoboCop, maybe?
Yes, RoboCop.
RoboCop,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Paul Verhoeven, old Iron Butt himself, back in the saddle here. And this is based off of a story from Philip K. Dick.
It's a second Dick adaptation.
Another Dick. I know what you're thinking on a podcast with
Double
two guys.
Dick.
Another Dick, But yes, we've got Philip K. Willie is going to be in providing inspiration. Now, Total Recall is... As it's a Philip K. Mickey story it's based off of.
Yeah.
And Philip K. Ghoulies, he only does things a very particular way. And I was wondering, with Philip K. John Thomas, it being kind of a high concept movie, like we had with Blade Runner, have you ever heard of anything about the hook of Blade Runner?
Sorry.
So be professional. Come on now. Come on.
I've not heard much about Philip's... written work.
How
Phil's books. I know they're very popular. He's a very, very esteemed science fiction author.
Yeah.
With I think quite a vast canon of books.
Yeah, well,
novels,
most of which have been adapted in one way, shape, or form. He's got a gajillion things. Man in the High Castle.
There was a whole Channel 4 series that was just adapting various Philip K. Dick
short
stuff.
Stories of his, yeah. So do you know what the gimmick of Total Recall is? Do you know anything about the setting of this movie?
Here's my best guess.
Okay.
It's a lot like Jingle All the Way, but kind of in reverse. So a toy is on the market, and because of a choking hazard that they didn't anticipate, there has been a total recall of that product, and Arnie is the man in charge of getting those products off the shelves and not into the hands of children. He's trying to take it away from them so that they don't die.
A total recall,
as it were. A total recall. You can't have any of these products on the shelf, but they're out there and it's Christmas time. He's got to get them back. That's my guess.
We open on Christmas morning in suburbia. Everything's perfect. Or is it?
Yeah.
I love my Turbo Man action
No, you don't. Give me back.
He is choked on the Turbo Man action figure. We must initiate the Total Recall now!
To be honest with you, I don't know what happens in this film.
Really? Bullshit!
No, not bullshit. I don't. This is a film that I, for a long time, got confused with both Blade Runner and Logan's Run. I would say Total Recall is mixed into that, science fiction-y, dystopian-y thing where something happens, but I can't remember what it is. I don't know. I don't know about Total Recall.
Oh my god, you are going to have your fucking mind blown, because it's one of those movies where most people who I've shown it to, and this is the quintessential you like Arnie movies, have you seen the best one, because here it is, because it is the fucking goddamn Mac Daddy of it, and it's something that oftentimes people have heard at least the gist off of, and then it's like you have to kind of sell someone like, oh no, I know you know what the gist is, but it's very good. You don't even know what the gist of it is.
Genuinely don't know what the gist is. I've seen a gif of Arnie in a machine going, wah, wah, like he's like really upset that he's in this machine.
It's on my coffee mug that I often have here. I don't know if you've
seen
recalled.
it. Yeah,
I've got Arnie in said machine.
In the machine.
Oh my god, this is such a fucking treat for you.
What I do know when trying to find this film on legal DVD sites or otherwise was that it's also the title of Arnie's autobiography.
Yes!
His autobiography is just called Total Recall.
It is my total and complete recollection of events.
It's just Total Recall. Love it. Absolutely love it. There was I remember some series being on called Scrotal Recall.
Boo!
It was like a comedy show about a guy getting back in touch with people he'd had sex with because he had a disease.
What, did he rub his scrotum on them? I mean...
Do you remember this?
Do you remember?
Do you recall this?
Do you recall this? Did you know there was a remake of this?
Yes.
Floating around.
Because this was a public vote. This was voted for by people on Facebook.com/CinemaSwell.
That is Facebook.com@gmail.com. Oh no! The mega powers are colliding!
We must recall it.
Wow, Sam, the internet's falling apart!
I had seen some of the comments, and one of them was, you should review the shit remake for Cinema Swill.
Oh, no, we're not daft bastards now. Come on. Stop that.
Well, no. That's the whole gimmick of the show.
Hang on a minute, I want to reclaim daft bastard on behalf of us here, right?
Yeah.
There's some of us who wear that as a badge of pride, yeah?
Who's in it? Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell, yeah.
I just did that Alan Partridge shrug gif there.
Big deal. What, So yeah, Colin Farrell, he's no Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
If he was Arnold Schwarzenegger, he wouldn't have been allegedly bullied out of the school that I went to. You know, that's a little bit of a fun trivia for you there, folks.
Nice. Right.
Yeah, I toughed it through, I put down my bottom lip and had a stiff upper lip, Those bullies don't bother me now.
You're tougher than Colin Farrell.
I'm just saying, my toughness is equatable via a parallel line to the other part of the graph, and that point on that graph is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So, who's the Brussels from Austria now, huh? It's me.
Right. Well, I don't know the plot of this.
Oh my god!
I know Arnie's in a machine. What? I'm gonna say it now. I can't hide that I know this. There is a three booby lady.
There is a three boob lady. Have you been on those special sites again? Those websites on the web? Have you?
No, this wasn't one of my clips for sale ventures. Thank you very much.
You've not been on the looking at the pornographic imagery, have you?
No, that was another thing in the comments. I need to stop looking at the comments. I need to find some way to manage the Facebook page while also not seeing what people say about stuff. But someone was like, oh, I can't wait till Sam sees the three booby lady.
Hey, Sam, I'm going to spoil the episode.
I know it's done
boogity.
with good intentions. But yeah, so I know about the three booby lady, but I don't know the context of three booby.
Okay, so we know that it's got Philip K. Willie, it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and a woman with three breasts.
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be an absolute hoot and a holler. Sam, I think you're going to fucking love this, but that's just my hot take, saying the man who loves this movie above all else. And I've not watched it in a while, so I can't fucking wait to get settled in. Let's go do a cinema swirl. We're back. We have successfully gotten our asses to Mars. But Sam, will I see you at the party? Initial gut reaction to Total Recall.
That was fucking nuts, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes. Oh my god, what a violent movie. What a crazy movie.
So violent, so weird, so twisty and turny, so silly, so good, so fun. I had a good time.
Man,
I feel very good about this movie.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm so fucking glad you've enjoyed this. Oh boy, Total Recall is it's just a fucking everyday movie. That I don't think I'll ever not be in the mood to watch Total Recall because it scratches so many itches. I've got my adventure, but I've also got a lot of high concept sci-fi, and I've got a lot of silly comedy, let's be honest, intentional and otherwise.
Yes. Arnie is a perfect fit for this, and yet he's the complete wrong person to cast in this.
It's so interesting, right? This whole process of making this movie is like a complete, like, it's just like looking right into the soul of Arnold Schwarzenegger and how he does business. Because this was bought, like, the story was bought in like the 70s. Pretty much as soon as it was written, it was picked up, like, someone's going to make a movie. And two lads spent ages trying to make a movie out of it. The original story, which is called We'll Remember It For You Wholesale. Yeah. And that story really just has the concept of you can buy the memories or the dreams, essentially, of whatever it is you want. And they spent ages making it, never worked because it was too, like, highbrow, people thought. They ended up making Alien, those two lads. It's the script they made to kind of cleanse the palate afterwards. Right. But in the original story, it is meant to be a bit of a boring office drone, like a John Everyman type who's really boring, and that's why he wants to get his ass to Mars. And that's why originally it was Richard Dreyfuss was the original name attached to this. And then I was like, why don't we rewrite this and make it a little bit more hench? And it was like Patrick Swayze was then attached to it. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, I want to be in this movie. Also make Paul Verhoeven the director. Also make it incredibly violent.
I want to get my ass to Mars.
I don't know why Arnold Schwarzenegger clicked with this movie so much, but he was apparently, like, even for him, he was involved in this movie at an alarming degree. Like, when the trailer came out, he didn't like the trailer and he made them recut it because it didn't sell the action and adventure and whimsy of Total Recall.
It's funny you mention all that stuff with the story and people writing it, because I noticed in the credits, the opening title sequence is fucking great, by the way. Great music. These kind of red beams of light with the names fusing into it. It's good.
That'd all be CG these days, Sam, as well. And that's why, like, that's the proper... They made those letters for real. That was a real, actual, tactile font right there.
I noticed there was credits for the original story this is based on, is This by Philip K. Dick. Then there was people who did the screen story, and then people who did the screenplay. So there was the original story.
What the fuck?
The screen story and the screenplay. There's 3 layers of story to this thing, which I guess is kind of apt, really, when you think about it. But holy moly, a lot of people wrote bits of this, and it was based on another thing and based on another thing.
I can never really think of instances where it's like someone tries to make something and then they fuck it up, and then they try to make it again, and then they fuck it up, and then someone else comes in and is like, right, fuck all this, and then that doesn't work, and then someone else comes in with Arnold Schwarzenegger and says, right, do this instead. And it somehow works. Like, it's pitch perfect. The tone of this shouldn't work at all.
No.
We open after those red credits, fittingly, on the red planet itself. Yes. The planet Mars, or as it's known in America, planet Milky Way. Yeah, their names for chocolate are different over there. Yeah. I forget which one it was, because when I was in America, I did an experiment of eating as much candy as possible for scientific purposes. And during that time, I realized that a number of candies have alarmingly similar names, but are confusing, like Milky Way. Their Milky Way is our Mars bar. So if you're looking for nougat, you're in business, because a Mars bar has got that. But if you don't want caramel, you're in all sorts of trouble.
But what's their Milky Way?
I didn't find a Milky Way, but I will say there was something, I think it's Galaxy, but there was something which is Dove, and it had the same, like, font as the Dove.
Mate, you were eating soap. That's what happened.
No, because as a kid, right, everyone knows this. Everyone relates to this. Right, this is a bit of the thing that everyone relates to. When you were a kid, everyone's parents had a Dove cream bar, and you wanted to take a bite out of it.
The soap.
And because it said Dove cream bar, and it had all, like, pouring jug liquid and thick and creamy. Yeah, I want a Dove cream bar. I love cream. I love bar. You know, come on. But over in America, they're using that Dove for actual chocolate, so I didn't buy it just in case. I think it was their version of Galaxy. I could be wrong.
So they're washing their hands with chocolate over in America, right? Is that
pretty much
what's happening? Yeah, okay.
It's why there's a diabetes epidemic, because everyone licks their hands after they wash their hands in chocolate. You see, Sam. We open on the red planet itself, Mars, and the first line of dialogue in this movie is Arnold Schwarzenegger going.
Fucking the first few minutes of this movie, you get that great title sequence, and then you get Arnie straight up just making some fucking Arnie noises.
Yeah.
And they're great Arnie noises. He knows what he's selling here. He knows what he's got to give, and he's giving it 100%.
The face, let's talk a little bit about that face.
Oh, the swelly, like...
A swollen and gorged face that only a mother could love, Sam.
Like you've just squeezed him from the middle and it's all coming out of the... Oh, it's gross. It's very tactile and physical and real. These are those old school special effects before CG.
Yeah, back when it was all puppets and stew meat, as they'd say in Ren and Stimpy, like. It was something to behold. I remember seeing that very young. I saw this movie, I think, when I was like 8, you know, and I remember seeing that scene just being
horrifying.
Yet somehow, that didn't freak me out as a kid.
No?
I know a lot of people who that scene in particular is like, what is my first nightmare? Well, as a matter of fact, it happens to be the opening scene from Total Recall. That bit. I know some people as well who like haven't seen the movie. They've just watched that bit as a kid and they're like, ah! And they turned it off. And that... And imagine if you just saw that, like, switching channels as a kid, and they're like, ah! And then you never knew what it was. There's a whole movie in there, not just exploding face.
It's yucky, but it's great. It's very bizarre and horrifying, and I imagine that could scar many a child.
The thick, beefy tongue is what does it for me, Sam. That's such a lovely thing about this movie, though, is I think it's like this fucking crossways in Hollywood history. Before you had special effects that were entirely computer generated, but what you still had, I mean, this movie not only has it got puppets, it's got shitloads of miniatures, like all the spaceships and spacecrafts and the colonies on Mars and all that.
And it has some technological whiz-bangery as well.
It's like some of the first ever uses of CG and some of the last ever uses of them old brick and mortar, the old special effects they used to make down the mill. You know, Ma and Pa used to make, you know. They used to have to work a 20-hour shift in the special effects dream house to get those. So Arnie wakes up. It was all a dream, or was it? And he's comforted by his wife, Sharon Stone, a.k.a. Laurie, a.k.a. was in Basic Instinct because Paul Verhoeven liked how she beat up Arnie when they were practicing for this movie.
I've not seen Basic Instinct either.
Oh, well, that might be a future swirl.
What have I seen, you know?
Well, exactly. Well, the previous episodes of this and Suicide Squad. So she comforts him in a very exposition-y type way. It's like, oh, are you dreaming about Mars again? I know you're obsessed with Mars.
I know there's that girl you're dreaming about. The brunette girl. No, you know you are the girl of my dreams.
Except the brunette girl who, in a much more literal sense...
The girl that is reoccurring in my dreams.
In my dreams. I know a friend of mine back in university woke up one morning with his girlfriend, and it was one of those relationships where they didn't get on very well, yet they still managed to stay together for like 6 or 7 years. And he woke up one morning and she went, "What did you dream about?" And he went, "It's really weird. I dreamt I was with another woman." And then straight away it was like she was so angry with him because of this dream woman who was like, and she had no one to be angry at, like, other than him, obviously. Yeah. Because, you know, they're in the dream. They're not real yet, like, you know. That's those dream women get away with all sorts, Sam. All sorts.
He was dreaming about a woman, but he was dreaming about a woman's face. No, her face didn't swell up, did it, at this point? His face swelled up, and she was there like, what's going on? And that was
and
the
then
dream.
You wake up and it's like, I had a dream I was with another woman. Such was the guilt that my face exploded. You must, like, butter wouldn't melt in my mouth. I was awful red-faced and swollen. I had a beefy tongue.
Butter wouldn't melt in my mouth, but my face would melt on Mars when it gets exposed to the atmosphere.
It would be very difficult for butter to melt in the sub-zero temperatures of the surface of Mars. We get lovely little scenes here where they're in their future house, which is like regular houses, but has cool features, like a window that could turn into mountain views.
Some of this technology seems to be coming true now, doesn't it? There's like, I feel like some of these TV companies are like, we've got a rollout screen or a screen that turns into a painting or something.
Or a home assistant that refuses to recognise the Irish accent. Dia quit Alexa, Amadon more Tatu. Hasn't a fucking breeze, Sam. I hate her.
I love the window telly, though.
Yeah, I would like, of all the potential future tech in here, I think window telly has got to be up there. There's one or two other ones which will go, which I think could be game changers. We could be going on the Shark Tank with some of these if Paul Verhoeven hasn't had the fucking common sense to patent pen this shit.
We've discovered that there's like terrorists on Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been a good name for a film.
Terrorists on Mars.
Yeah.
I know, they might get scared by the ghosts on Mars. I hear those guys are terrifying.
And based on that, Arnie's like, let's move to Mars. I love Mars. There's terrorists and everything. My favourite.
It's like when my brother had a holiday booked in Egypt, like a week after the coup happened in Egypt. It's like, let's not go to the war zone,
No.
So we follow Arnie on his day to work, and this is very cool, right? This whole futuristic city where it's all like, whoa, future metro and future stairs. That is just Mexico City.
Wait,
it's neo-brutalism. Where all the like underground, the subway tunnel.
Is that Mexico?
That's Mexico City, yeah.
Oh,
well, Mexico
cool.
City circa 1990, but
Nice.
yeah.
There's the X-ray wall that he walks past, which comes into play later. But they're doing that now in airports, mate. They can see your X-ray willy.
Yeah, and they can see all of your bright red bits as well. No, what happens, right, is that you go in, and then they go, ooh, and you have to put your hands in this weird pose, and it takes forever. And then the guy looks awkwardly as he brushes your penis afterwards. I don't like that whole setup. If I could just walk through and you get a printout of my skeleton walking, and I can make a GIF of that, and then share that GIF on social media.
In America, haven't they? They've got like...
What, a legit, you just walk through?
It makes you look like a weird skeleton smurf and you can see your willy in it.
Sam,
I might be going on the wrong websites again.
I think you might be, mainly because as well, where you said you can see your skeleton and your willy. Like, they call it a boner just figuratively, right? That is not actually a bone. If you do have a bone then there, I would suggest medical help very, very shortly.
One little nice touch that I just remembered was on the telly. It's like ESPN. It's the World Series from Tokyo.
Whoa!
The Tokyo baseball team, because it's the actual World Series. There's lots of little bits like that where they're just like, it's the future. Things are all futury and different. They're like how they are now, but they're futury.
It's like future. There's tellies on the subway.
Attention to detail, that kind of flavour text that you get.
Yeah.
A little extra bit, just if you look around.
All of these scenes are all done at the end of the movie when they ran out of money, basically. And it was all done on the cheap. All these like kind of world building bits. And yeah, it's the small little details, like you overhear the little bit of the news, or you hear the bit of the advertisement, you see the various there is Pepsi, by the way, is advertised all over this motherfucking thing. So it's good to know that in the future Pepsi has made its way up to Mars and beyond.
Don't see any Coca-Cola anywhere, which means that Pepsi won the war.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Mars was never even known as the red planet until Coca-Cola came along, and it originally was blue Mars, and then Coca-Cola just said, it is red now, and we had to accept that, and that's just actually a marketing thing. And I feel kind of, if I was to have kids now, I wouldn't even feel comfortable telling that Mars is real, because it's just a marketing ploy, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's all come up by Big Soda.
I'm just saying, right? I think Pepsi colonized the blue planet for a reason. That's all. Yeah. What I like as well is that you get all this advertisement world building, but it's not quite as full on as it was in Blade Runner, where it's like grabbing you and shaking you by the neck, going, "It's a new life in the off-world colonies."
No,
it's small. It's manageable. It's not overwhelming of the senses.
We get our first ad for Recall.
For the memory of a lifetime.
Hey, remember a holiday? Yeah.
Yeah?
Is that what you want?
Well, I was going to ask you about this. Recall, the concept, yay or nay?
I don't know.
Need I mind you what the man said about holidays? Pain in the ass. Kids complain. It's weather bad.
I do sort of think that, like, your memories of holidays that you go on are always better than the actual experience of being on the holiday. So maybe they've really nailed this down.
Yeah, like, for instance, I don't remember when I got really bad food poisoning eating moussaka at a cookery demonstration in Greece last year.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. I've just remembered it now.
You've recalled it.
That was not good.
No.
No. You know what? Could I have it so that I get to go on a holiday now and then get a memory that gets rid of the diarrhea?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that would be, I think we could Shark Tank that.
Yes.
Very narrow. It's like only existing holidays which we will tweak the memories thereof.
It's so niche, but there is a gap in that market. So
absolutely, yeah.
I'm in.
What holiday or what excursion would you like to get from Recall if you were given the option of any memory? And I will include the Ego Trip expansion pack in this.
If I was to have a Recall experience, I think I would want to be a secret agent as well.
Oh, yeah?
But at Center Parks. Like, going down the rapids with a gun,
Sam, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go on a bike ride and find out who Sam really is.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to be, like, undercover in Center Parks having a great time.
Because this weekend, I am not Sam Chaplin. Instead, I am... Sam Chaplin.
Are you gonna pull a name from somewhere? Gonna come up with something? No.
Sorry if one of us is more familiar with the 2018 highly successful Center Parcs advertisement cinema campaign,
Yeah, I think that's where I want to go.
Interesting. Very, very good. As a secret. And would you like to as well find out, you get to save the planet of Center Parc, you get to activate a machine that brings air to Center Parc,
Because the subtropical swimming paradise is inside a fucking dome, Kevin.
It is as well.
It all works. The dome could be pierced and all the atmosphere could go wrong.
And as we all know, the administrator of Center Parcs, Cohagen, that son of a bitch.
Exactly, I could take him down.
I know it's in your snaps, actually, of Center Parcs that there was an angry Michael Ironside in a leather jacket stomping around with a small militia in most of the pictures. Arnie goes to his job and works jacking hammers with not Danny DeVito.
Yes, but someone who looks a lot like so much like Danny DeVito.
You know what? Can we go back? I know we said on Cinema Swill that we wanted to maybe have some other dream casting for you
want this guy?
I want this guy because obviously DeVito, I didn't want to sully his name. This guy could have got a career out of being Mario, and he would have done a great job.
Arnie mentions Recall to him, and this guy's like, Recall, hey, Recall, hey, no, don't go there. They'll fuck your brain, mate.
Recall. You shouldn't go there. Oh, okay. Thank you for your information.
They'll fuck
and your
with
opinion.
your brain, pal. They'll fuck with your brain.
And Arnie obviously hates his mate because as soon as he's like, whoa, don't go there, you're getting lobotomized. He's like, okay, I will go. And he goes straight away. And here is the second bit of future tech that I think is fucking incredible. Future nails.
Yes, digital nail polish. I'm touching my nails with the little magic pen on the webcam at the moment. I'm trying to. That's cool. I think that shit will be doable soon. I have a feeling. Yeah.
Unless it leads to some sort of a schism in society between those who have the bio implants for colourful nails and those who do not.
I think, it'll go horribly wrong, but it'll be doable.
I think it's about time it happens because, quite frankly, I had this idea in my head. I've seen it portrayed in media a lot where it's the nice boyfriend doing the nails for his partner. And I was very excited to finally do that. And
if you just touch a pen...
I realized how hard it is. This shit makes Warhammer seem like finger painting. This is fucking ridiculous. Bullshit.
Well, it is finger painting when you think about it.
Give me the technology. It's toe painting too, Sam.
It's like Mario Paint. You just click it and it just fills in the whole thing.
So we get the pitch here now from this used car salesman,
not
got
that
Chevy Chase.
Shit-eating salesman grin, does that? Hi, hey.
Did you know that you won't get a lobotomy? You'll have a great time as well. Holidays are a faff. Come on, don't bullshit me.
Yeah, great Arnie line, great delivery. His delivery, we've talked about this a million times because we've watched a million Arnie movies, and I say that meaning 4. But his delivery is so weird and so not quite how you would expect any of these lines to be said.
No one wanted to tell Arnie do that again completely differently. It's
and I'm
wrong.
so glad no one has ever done that.
What usually happens is okay, he's done it wrong. Let's try and give him subtle directions to move him slightly away from completely wrong into just wrong.
Yeah, there's better examples later on, but come on, don't bullshit me.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Love it. The salesman initially offers the Saturn package.
It's big push for the Saturn package.
Then the 2 weeks Mars package. Then the take a vacation from yourself package.
And 2 weeks in Mars is 800 credits, or 899. And the fucking ego trip where it's secret agent, this, that, and the other, 300 credits. What?
Is that on top, though? Is that like an added bonus?
Oh, it's you add it on afterwards, so it's like 899
heated
basic.
seats as well, it's like it's an extra bonus thing that you have to sign up to. I think the whole take a vacation from yourself thing, that works on every schmuck, normal average Joe who comes in, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd be like, no, I'm not taking a break from this guy. I'm me. I want to keep being me. This is fantastic.
Come on, I'm just a Johnny-come-lately, 6-pack, 6'5", cunt of Austrian steel and muscle. I hate my wife. I hate my life. Married to Sharon Stone.
No, let me keep being me. I don't want no ego vacation.
I mean, if you look at your life objectively there, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all you're missing is a talking cartoon animal. And other than that, you've got the Hollywood dream life. You got
Exactly. It's not like a being John Malkovich type thing where you can take a vacation inside Arnold Schwarzenegger. In which case, I would sign up to that. That would be great.
What would you do as Arnold Schwarzenegger on vacation?
Just flex everywhere and be really strong.
Over and over and over.
Just show off how strong I am.
Just to yourself, essentially.
Yeah. to myself and others. But I guess he's quite old now, but he's still hench.
He's still cut. He's still
Yeah.
cut. I'd have him go out and I'd just have him do really mean tweets, like, and stir shit up, like,
probably
you know?
do that. I'd probably have him record a few promos for Cinema Swirl. Email them to me.
I'm not going to lie, Sam. I would want to do a heavy week of episode recording when you take over Arnold Schwarzenegger's body. Yeah, it might as well. That's an investment right there. We can make back those 300 credits in no time whatsoever. Schizoid Embolism, which is the name of my new band.
Yeah, so he goes to the secret agent package. He goes in the machine. There's some dork being like, things hardly ever fuck up around here, and then things immediately fuck up.
You idiot! You blew my cover!
He kicks the nerd really hard here, doesn't he?
He does, and he's like, Mr. Quaid, my name is not Quaid, it's Kieran.
Arnie also, he got to pick his dream lady, and he picked the dream lady.
Yeah,
which says a lot,
sleazy, athletic brunette.
That's the dream.
That's the dream, baby.
Fucking dream. So, Arnie has a wonderful opportunity to make more Arnie noises. Always welcome.
And they're like, all right, erase his memory of here, put him in a cab, and get him the fuck out of here.
But, Kevin.
The
thing is, he's having this freaking out. He's like, I'm from Mars. They haven't put the thing in his head yet. They haven't implanted the memory. But he's still got memory. What's going on?
Now, straight away here, there is kind of a crossroads. You can watch this movie through two lenses, and I've watched this movie dozens of times. Through both of these lenses.
Left and right on my glasses here.
And I think that it's easy to watch this straight up as being like, okay, it is like, he is everything he thinks he is. He is the secret agent, Hauser. He's got, this memories have been implanted, him going to recall to set off this whole chain reaction.
Yeah.
However, you can also watch this movie through the lens of this moment right here is the beginning of
From here
the
on
ego
out
trip.
is the experience. Yeah.
Because if you go back and you listen, there's so many clues, particularly the salesman who literally said, oh my god, it's amazing. I don't want to spoil it, but you get the girl, you save the planet, you fight the underground resistance. Like, he literally says everything that happens in the movie. It's really well done. Were you straight away going, oh, this is dream now? Like, when did those questions come into your head, or were you...
Yeah, throughout the whole thing, I started to be conditioned to the whole, like, twists upon layers of reality. I was trying to second guess it a bit. But I never really fully knew what was going on.
That's the best way.
That whole kind of, all of this is a dream, or some of this is a dream. That played into some of Blade Runner, didn't it? The nature of what's real and what isn't real, and who's a replicant, all that kind of stuff.
It's too bad we're not going to get to talk about Blade Runner in enough detail to appreciate it. But then again, who does? He gets put in with another great future device. It's a Johnny Cab. I'm a Johnny Cab.
Yeah, their approach is just wipe his memory, put him in a cab, fuck him off somewhere else.
My name is JF Johnny Cab. I drive people around.
This is the thing. All these companies being like, oh, there's going to be driverless cars, driverless taxis, Uber and Lyft are all developing this kind of shit. You need to put a weird, creepy ventriloquist dummy that can talk to you in it. You need someone you can have a chat to.
That also talks fucking smack, like, full of... This guy is such a fucking crank-ass driver, this guy here, coming at us with all of his fucking sass, like, what's the name of that street, sir? How did I get into this cab? When you got in, you opened the door and you sat down. Wah. Fucking smart talk from a dumb man with no arms or legs. Or soul.
One of the best characters of the film, though. I love him.
Arnie comes out of the cab. He gets attacked by
his mate,
Danny DeVito. I know, and he's like, "Yeah, you had to ask questions. You just had to ask too far. You just had to ask how come Danny DeVito's not in this movie."
You blabbed about Mars.
Oh,
so we get an Arnie fight. We get a first Arnie fight, I think.
Yeah, he kills many men.
Lots of dead bodies, lots of blood, lots of great shots of dead bodies and blood. This is a wonderfully directed film in terms of looking at dead people.
Paul Verhoeven definitely is, I want to use the broadest sense of the word, turned on, but it definitely ticks on the buttons of Paul Verhoeven to have very, very gruesome, well shot. I mean, this is like just like RoboCop in that way, that you've got this mass fucking execution that's quite beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, it is. It does look quite pretty in a strange way, and it's artful and neat, but also gross and splattery.
Meanwhile, back at the flat, Sharon Stone is playing hollow tennis. Another thing I think that has come to be. I'm not sure if... England, Legoland. I am very perturbed by some of the developments in this field.
Yeah.
There's an ad that's playing on Channel 4 at the moment, and it's like this really intense lady who's like, come on, keep cycling, cycle faster now. And there's a guy like in his apartment, and it's like, and then it cuts to a woman going, cycle faster, and like the days go to nights,
Right.
and then the lady's like, come on, John in Cornwall, you're not cycling enough, cycle faster or we'll kill your children. I gotta cycle faster. And then it's like live cycling demonstrations, and it's this like whole company where the thing is, you go onto a web chat where it's someone who's also on a bike going, cycle faster.
Fucking hell.
And it reminds me so much of 1984. It is very, very alarming,
Ugh.
upsetting, and I don't want it to be anyone's business, any working out whatsoever. No way.
No, not having that. Sharon Stone here is very concerned that Arnie's been to recall. She calls them brain butchers, which again, another great name for a movie.
I was going to say that's a great name for a tag team, the Brain Butchers.
The Brain
in wrestling.
Butchers.
The Brain Butchers. So, Laurie, as you would in this situation, goes to kill her husband.
Yeah, because so by going to recall, he's recalled something here. He knows too much now.
Yeah.
And so the dream life is over. She's got to kill him. But she doesn't quite manage it.
No, she is not good enough at murdering is the problem here. It's a great failing of the character of Laurie. Ineffective murdering is essentially what I class it as.
Throughout this whole film, Arnie gets like cut up and beat up to shit, and he never seems in much pain or like he's gonna get an infection or something. Because she slices his chest open.
Oh yeah, she slices him. He gets broken
a
up
drill
to
through
bits.
the arm at one point. He gets punched around. He's fine.
During this movie, Arnie got two big injuries. He broke a finger during one of the fight scenes, punching something. And he also cut up his hand when he was doing one of the smashes through glass. It's Hollywood glass that breaks just before you make impact, so you can roll through it. And it didn't break, so he just smacked into it and he cut himself up. Also, the whole cast and crew, except for Arnie and Sharon Stone, all got massive food poisoning because of the Kraft Food Services gave tainted meat. But Arnie brings his own meat from home, as does Sharon Stone, so they were okay.
Of course they do. That's great.
But like, Paul Verhoeven apparently was directing this, sat in the back of an ambulance getting like fluids and IV
God.
because it was, you know, that real food poisoning, the type that doesn't it just doesn't ruin a holiday, it ruins a colon.
Yes. Oh dear. So their whole married life has been a memory implant into Arnie, right?
6 weeks. But she's like, you know,
she's just playing the role of wife as a character. She's like acting here, but she works for Cohagen. She's working for Cohagen.
The agency. I mean, that's grand work if you can get it. I think like Up Near Extras work in terms of like easy money there.
Pretending to be someone's wife.
To pretend to be someone's wife or husband or partner, whatever. If you're just offered that money from an agency, and if it's a brand you trust or a name you trust, like Cohagen or Richter, I say go with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Immerse yourself in the role.
Jared Leto would be great at this.
Oh yeah, he'd be unbelievable. Imagine Jared Leto as Laurie here, like just playing the complete double twist, ultimate
I would have never
mindfuck.
guessed.
Never in a million years. Your whole life is a dream, Quaid. So he knocks her out. If your whole life is a dream, you can get away with pretty much anything. That's why Arnie does all the horrible things he does in real life.
He deals with some of the... I mean, this moment here would be a total mind-destroying thing. A mindfuck, as comes up later. And he deals with it quite, not calmly, but quite efficiently.
Almost like he's been waiting for the moment that he can be like, oh, I have to go kill everyone and beat up my wife and everything. He's just looking for an excuse, isn't it? Like,
it does. He seems a bit too ready to be like, I'm just going to punch and run away. Like, this is great. Which kind of leans into the whole memory simulation thing, the kind of fake memory, maybe.
Yeah.
This is all just a bit of fun and games. It's not real. But yeah, it's I don't know. The X-ray sequence when he's running away.
Oh, I love
we get
that.
the X-ray machine again. That's great. That must be some CG, right?
Oh that's early computer graphics right there. Yeah. And during this chase sequence where Arnie has been chased by secondary antagonist. It's only Richter.
Andy Richter.
Played by Michael Ironside. Sorry, I wrote down Michael Iron, but that is a typo. That is incorrect. Michael Ironside, one of my all-time favourite character villain actors. He's fucking brilliant. Of the first thing that he does is when he comes in is like, Sharon Stone, come here, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Plants a big dirty kiss on her like a big freak. Arnie in this chase sequence very bravely uses a human shield to catch all the bullets.
Yeah, and he chucks this body down onto Richter and his cronies. It's very, very violent, this film.
Oh yeah,
Very
it's a total chase scene now. Arnie's getting out of Dodge, goes to like kind of an old derelict rundown apartment, and he gets a phone call on Skype, no less, from the future, from one of his old buddies from the agency, who's basically told him, "You're bugged. You got to wear a towel on your head to stop the bug being read by the baddies."
You got a bug brain.
He is so good at making a wet towel go around his head like that. I mean, that's amazing. I wish I had that skill.
I wouldn't have been able to do that as quickly.
Well, you could do that, just not as quickly.
I'd have to, well, this is the thing, I'll probably have to YouTube the most efficient way to wrap a towel around your head. And by then, I've been shot.
Why don't you and I, as a little treat for the fans, why don't we have a best go, each of ourselves, at doing this? Not now, no. At the future. Give us time to research, and the fans can vote who did the best towel job. Who's not going to get tracked by Richter?
Okay, I mean, I'll do this if you'll do it. So we just need to wrap a wet towel around our heads.
In a very convincing manner
in order to muffle a brain bug.
Absolutely.
Fans
can vote. Let's do this. The challenge has been laid down.
Cool.
He hotwires a Johnny Cab, which then tries to kill him. I forgot about this entirely, the movie where he's like, he's a fucking weird suicide attack.
Yeah, so the Johnny Cab does more of its sass here when Arnie just jumps in and it's like, drive, get out of here.
I know you are, but what am I?
Where would you like to go? Shit, and he's like, shit, I'm not familiar with that locate. It's like the sat-navs now. It's like Waze, when you're trying to get to IKEA and it takes you down some fucking country roads that you don't know.
You just get into your app and like, come on, get the fuck out of here. I just want to get to IKEA and get some meatballs.
The Johnny Cab says the fare is 18 credits, and Arnie, quite rightly, says, sue me, dickhead. Which is such a late 80s, early 90s insult.
Back when the concept of suing was a real kind of fun one to just throw around like.
There's great swearing in this film as well.
Absolutely,
That's
totally.
The thing. I don't know if we've heard Arnie swear as much as this.
No, this is fully 18s, this movie. It was originally going to be X-rated, and they did tone down a lot of the violence. A lot of the shooting scenes got a lot more bloody. I think there is a director's cut floating around out there that basically has a lot more blood, particularly in like the elevator scene, etc. So he opens up the big briefcase that his mate left him, and it's all sorts of goodies inside. You've got Monopoly Mars money, awesome. ID cards, brilliant. Several devices, also fucking holographic Arnie.
That's cool. I don't understand how it works or what it really does, but it's great.
Someone needs to implement that in GoldenEye as an update for the N64.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
I want that. And then you can go, you think this is the real Bond? It is. You
think this is the real Odd Job? It is. I've cut your legs off with my hat.
Oh, no, you think this is the real Robbie Coltrane? Of course it is. I take up most of the fucking screen. I'm a fucking easy target here. Easy target, like.
So Arnie also opens up this big telly where it has Arnie revealing that Arnie is in fact Arnie. He's like, you are me. We are a happy family.
Yeah, so he reveals that him and Cohagen, they were as tight as it got, but now he knows that it's all bullshit because he's met the Resistance and Melina, and he needs to get that bug out of his nose. Stick this device in your nose.
Yeah. Is that going to get a bug, or is he going to get boogers? That's booger.
This bit here is fucking foul.
Yeah. Pulling and the nose kind of go swelling up. Horrible.
I can't think of a worse place to pulse it. Like, that is such a fucking horrible thing. That shape in there.
Ear. What about ear?
Oh, an ear.
What if you're pulling that out of your ear?
The thing, though, about the ear is that you can at least breathe okay. This is tampering with your breath.
But you fucking hear it. That beeping noise it was making as that's coming out of your ear, go beep, beep.
That would drive you up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
Here's the plan. Get your ass to Mars. That line felt like it should have been read with a little bit more chutzpah. Because like anytime anyone I know who quotes that is like, get your ass to Mars. It's like, no, he's like, get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. And then he very, very cleverly puts the bug on one of the many mice that he's eating food around and licking his fingers. And that means that he's able to give Richter and the gang a little bit of the slip. We head to Mars via models, I believe. Fucking looks beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful.
Great shots of Mars.
It looks better than all of the CG bollocks in the retooled Star Wars that we watched. Like the really fucking hack job stuff that they did there. Oh God, I love this. Right, so you can't get into Mars just any old way.
No,
you've got to put on a little bit of a disguise, you know?
So he becomes a lady?
It's a special mask that's highly sophisticated that gives him the entire appearance, the fingerprints, the voice, the demeanor, and the two-word phrase of this one particular lady. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Of course, when they rebooted it with Colin Farrell, he was saying fortnight, but that's because it was a modern remake, wasn't it?
And they had to put in that little bit of a tease there for the Angry Birds generation to smash that download button. This kind of reminds me of what it's like when our Prime Minister Theresa May is asked a question about anything that is not like written down as strict, obvious policy. Like
strong and stable, strong and stable, strong and stable, strong and stable.
Get ready for a surprise. Fucking Brexit, yeah? Boom.
It's not a surprise, is it?
It's not a surprise.
Hey, Kevin, you know Brexit Day?
Yeah.
It's my birthday.
Are you kidding me? 29th of March?
Yeah, that's my birthday. Lovely little treat for me, mate.
Oh, Sam. Oh,
can't wait.
Bless. Well, you know what? This is the silver lining to this. This is to rub it in the face of any anti-immigrant people who don't like immigrants coming in here. I'm coming up next year to my 10-year immigration-versary right here in England, and you can't make me move, so fuck y'all. I've put my roots down here now. I've got my ass groove in this country.
I think we pretty squarely nailed our standpoints on Brexit to the mast there. It's rubbish.
I want for my 10-year immigration-versary to have a traditional English party in a pub where there are large bowls of crisps and soft drinks and a DJ where there's no one in front of it. I really feel strongly about that. Yeah, I've never had this.
Sausage rolls.
Mini Scotch eggs.
A spread, basically.
A spread, Sam. A mostly beige and orange spread.
A spread, a DJ with no one there.
I've never had a cube of cheese on a cocktail stick.
Oh, Kevin.
You know, and I've watched all this British media going, oh yeah, like the parties we don't have in Ireland. We simply do not have them. You don't go to the pub to eat foods that have been prepared elsewhere. You go there to drink in Ireland. It's a whole other ball game here.
For your 10-year anniversary, we'll get you some cheese on a stick, mate.
Yay! Now, if that isn't going to motivate me to stay immigrated, I don't know what is. So we get a big explosion and a kabang and a shoot 'em up here as all of the army come in as 2 weeks gets a little bit over the top and crazy and her head explodes.
Yeah, so Arnie comes out of the head, it kind of detaches, and he throws it.
Another bit of puppet work there, mixed in with some CG.
Jesus, it's horrendous, but great. The dome has been punctured.
This happens a lot. This is the first of like 20 vacuum shots in this thing where it's like, you're not allowed to shoot on Mars, so everyone get that out of your fucking head, alright? It's a bad concept. Also, let us give all of the military guns.
Everyone's getting sucked bullets out.
No, don't shoot the guns we've supplied you with, militia. No, don't shoot the terrorists. Come on now.
So, everyone's getting sucked out of the thing. Quaid slips away, I think.
Yeah, he goes to the Hilton.
He sneaks out, goes into the hotel. There's the little thing saying Mars Today, like USA Today.
That's very good.
Little newspaper thing.
Very, very good.
Quaid left Quaid a message on an advert for what would you call it?
I think the socially acceptable term is a titty bar.
Oh, a titty bar. And he's written Melina on it, but then he has to check that it's his handwriting by writing on it.
Very good. He's good at this. You can tell he's a secret agent.
I mean, he knows that it's his handwriting, but he's done that so that we, the audience, know that it's his handwriting.
I don't know why, but I want this to be recut so that he takes the piece of paper and he does the thing that the dude does in The Big Lebowski, and it's a massive willy underneath. Like, I want his sleuthing to be in vain. Hang on a second.
I wonder how easy that would be to do with special effects these days. I wonder if I can mock that up. Just draw a little willy.
So this is something, if you've been on holiday, everyone knows this. All the cowboy taxi drivers who are like, oh, come here now and I'll steal your luggage, so I will, and all that fucking business. Wouldn't trust any of them, Sam, so I wouldn't.
No.
Especially this Benny guy who allegedly has got 5 kids.
Yes, he's got kids to feed. He asks Arnie, Quaid, Doug, if Doug Quaid.
What a fucking name.
If it's his first time on Mars, and Arnie says, yes, well, no, well, sort of. with no conviction or anything. It's just like,
I think this really works well with the theory of that Arnold Schwarzenegger's not... There's this great fan theory where Arnold Schwarzenegger's not aware of that he's in a movie and all the movies he's in. That he's just... that they put him here, this like Mr. Olympia. They dress him up, they give him just enough kind of direction, and then it's like he wakes up and then this is just, they film the movie around him. And yeah, he doesn't seem to know most of the time what is going on in this movie, which is great because you're a great sidecar with Arnie, because when you don't know what's real, what's not, and Arnie is like clearly not a fucking clue.
I can relate to him. We get to the last resort after seeing that there's definitely Pepsi on Mars.
Did you see that there is a Breaking Bad alum in this scene?
No.
Ah.
Who's in this one?
Hank from Breaking Bad. It's Tony, the guy who's got the cleft forehead and eye.
Is that Hank?
That's Hank.
Oh, it's all made up, so I couldn't tell it was Hank.
Yeah, I only found that out, like, literally last year. So
awesome. The music in this place is great, in The Last Resort.
It's very like Jabba's sail barge type of thing, like.
Yeah.
I thought, like, randomly it would cut to, like, kill it! Ooh, deep
We meet the three boob lady.
Yeah, did you count them all three? There they are.
1, 2, 3. She's very happy to just get out the three boobs. I guess you kind of would be.
Aeration.
I don't know, but like, there's I think 3 times, which is appropriate. 3 times this movie, which is like, hey, there's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, if you're going to have the 18 rating, you might as well like expand out the grey areas of like, yes, you can show breasts. Can you show more breasts than would normally be there? Well, Paul Verhoeven found that out.
Is that more or less explicit? That's the thing I can't tell.
Paul Verhoeven was doing nothing but setting precedent here, Sam. That's all he was doing, like, you know?
So there you go, Cinema Swirl Facebook comment section. I've seen the 3 booby lady.
And you're a better person for it now.
Yeah. So Arnie, he encounters Melina, he wrote down a thing saying meet Melina. He meets Melina. Melina's like his dream lady, we remember from before.
She's very athletic and sleazy.
She is, and informs Quaid that he's Hauser, but Arnie doesn't remember that he's Hauser, and that Hauser was working for Cohagen. I'm trying to get my bearings on who's what and what's happening here, and I don't think Arnie knows either. And again, I feel like I can relate to Arnie because I'm like, I don't really know what's going on.
Birds of a feather, mate.
Melina's a bit upset with him. She kind of sulks off because he doesn't remember her, and she thinks it's all bullshit, it's all lies, it's all part of his scheme.
Little did he know that she is the dream girl, as mentioned earlier. Arnie gets pulled into a room where he meets the professor from earlier on in the movie in the recall ad. This is legit my favourite scene in the movie, where he's like, you're having a psychotic paranoid break, you're having a schizoid embolism. Schizoid embolism, by the way, would be a great, like, you could place it in Frontier Psychiatrists instead.
Yeah.
Schizoid embolism.
That boy needs therapy. Give him a psychosomatic.
He says that he's delusional. He's back in recall, and that he's been sent in as a kind of almost like a program to help save him. And he asks him to reject the lies of the mainstream media and take the red pill, man, because there should be a reason why you have a date, Arnie, and you need to find out.
And Laurie is here to convince him that this is real, which I don't think is a good ploy, really.
No.
I mean, this all seems fake as fuck. Like, there's been some twists and turns here where I'm like, oh, maybe, but this was the one where I'm like, no, this is bollock.
Oh, and then he put the pill in his mouth and he sees the one bead of sweat. He shoots that guy right between the goddamn eyes. It's fucking insane. It's just, this is what I love most about the movie, is that he acts like he is in a dream where it's like, oh, well, this huge big thing which is going to stop you now. It's like, nope, shoot the old man in the head. Bang!
Yeah.
Like, you know, fucking fight my wife.
He shoots a couple of people right in the middle of the forehead, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never went on a killing spree in my dream.
No?
No, I mean, I went on like a fucking
Every
murdered
night,
a box of chicken tiddlers in my dreams, but never any fucking right between the eyes bullseye nonsense going on here.
Not really. Can people put there by a computer program not sweat then? Is that what he's realised? That like a computer wouldn't sweat?
Well, why would he, Sam? Why would he sweat?
Simulation thing wouldn't sweat.
Because the thing, he gave him, it wasn't just a sweat, it was the little look where it was like, oh, he better have swallowed that, because if he's not, I'm fucked.
Right.
And why would he think that if this was just a dream? So, you know, little did he know he was just a sweaty, gross old man. And I would say if I was recasting a remake of this, I'd put Toby Jones as the professor here. He'd be a great, wouldn't he? Yeah. And I'd shoot Toby. Oh no!
No, it's the thing about Toby Jones.
I made myself sad, Sam. I shot Toby Jones. Why did I do that?
Toby Jones is both very sweet and very creepy all at once. He can be both. Have you seen him in Doctor Who? I don't really watch Doctor Who, but I watched one with him in.
I've not watched Doctor Who because I'm from Ireland and I'm not a covert British.
But Toby Jones is very good in Doctor Who. He had a one-off kind of villain role in Doctor Who, and it's great.
Did he play like a massive evil fucking foot or something like that? Like,
no, he was like a scary, creepy professor. I can't really remember what happened, but it was all playing with the idea of reality and time and what was going on. It was good. Like Toby Jones, he should be the professor in this.
So we have a right big fight here now. As Melina comes to the rescue with a big machine gun. Nice to see Arnie get saved by a damsel this time, as opposed to always the other way around in every movie ever.
Melina can kick some ass. She's a good fighter.
This is a fucking bad... I mean, this is... I guess, it's the 90s. Maybe things are moving more in that direction, but this is like the first time in an action movie like this where we've got like a kick-ass fight scene between two women, and it's not like a cat fight, the hair. It's like fucking machine guns and trying to kill each other here. And then Arnie, in a, bros before hoes, he shoots his wife in the head. Consider this a divorce. No conviction in that at all, like...
No.
Because he knows he signed a prenup, that's why.
Some of these lines are like James Bond level, like, quips, aren't they?
Yeah.
Arnie is Bond? Question mark. Next Bond?
I think he's dead, Miss Moneypenny. Yes, James. I watched Goldfinger the other day for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
A great time. And you know what? Have you seen much Bond?
I've seen quite a bit of Bond, actually.
Really?
Not all of Bond, but who has seen all of Bond?
Live and Let Die?
I've heard the song.
Okay.
I don't think I have.
I think we might need to perhaps do a Bond swirl at some point.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a dickload of Bond movies.
Right.
None of the modern ones. Die Another Day was the end of the franchise as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
That the absolute finish.
All right.
I refuse to acknowledge a blonde Bond. What a ridiculous notion.
Yeah, so Melina, kicks Laurie's ass. Doug has shot her. Consider that a divorce. Oh my god, that's a great line. Delivered in such a uniquely Arnie way.
Stick around.
They run away, but the baddies, so Richter and his little mate with the glasses...
The nerd.
Can't shoot because they'll pierce the dome. You don't want to pierce the dome.
Richter is absolutely incensed as well. He's really angry because,
Well, his missus has been shot.
Yeah, and he's tried kissing her corpse and is, nowhere near the same buzz he's getting, and he's fucking livid with this now. He
probably got a bit of a buzz there because he doesn't seem like a proper creep.
He does, yeah.
Corpse kissing weirdo.
You big corpse kissing weirdo, Richter, you big fucking weirdo. See you at the party, Richter. What's that? The weird sex party that you totally are going to. So Benny and the gang get chased, and they get in Benny's cab, he zips away. This is fucking Blues Brothers level of smashing that goes on here. They drive through all of Mars, essentially. I fucking love it.
Yeah, they go into the last resort here, don't they? They kind of crash into it.
Yeah, they get Safeway, because they're amongst good folks here, the rebels, the mutants.
Tony.
Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. I'm sorry about our disagreement earlier. If you should die before you wake, let you know I apologized.
Three Boob gets shot.
That was out of order.
Not on that.
No. The first three-boobed lady to make an appearance in a movie should not also be the first three-boobed lady to get killed in a movie. No. That's just, come on, Paul. Way out of whack here.
Rubbish. Loads of blood here. Loads of blood everywhere. Everyone getting shot.
Yeah, it goes quickly from it's a massacre, they're killing all the mutants, to, oh no, the mutants are actually doing quite well. They're very good and adept at shooting the baddies.
Yeah, but all the baddies get pulled out of Sector G, I think.
Old Cohagen's got a bit of a trick up his sleeve. Or should I say, a dick move up his sleeve, as, he turns off the air. And I mean, come on now. He's already raised the prices of air, Sam. And now, bloody hell, fucking turn it off.
Yeah.
I feel that air is possibly in our lifetime going to become a commodity. Because, I don't know, there's already places apparently where, in big metropolitan cities where you can go and get clean air and breathe it. I think it's going to be some sort of
thing.
It's a thing, God. I don't know.
Like a subscription service to air. Every month you get a nice little parcel full of air you can breathe in.
What I'm doing now, Sam, is while the getting is good and while it's free, I'm just taking big breaths in, you know?
It's kind of represents great value.
Exactly, you know?
People are just breathing normally, whereas you're going... Oh god, that really actually.
Oh, see, next time you got to pace yourself, you know? Much like when they were selling cut rate bacon rolls when I worked at the Mail, the Royal Mail. You know, you got to get it while the getting's good, but you also got to pace yourself, because if you eat too many or breathe too deeply like you did, it's going to go right to your head.
Yeah. So they turn off the vents. Quaid kisses Melina. I think that might be their first proper kiss, maybe.
Ooh.
Do a little kiss. Yeah, that's nice. Because he likes her. He can tell just from. He doesn't really remember her, but he can tell. From
I'm just
her
saying,
actions.
Sam, girls never buy. No one ever buys the whole, oh, I have amnesia and we were in love in a previous mind space. No one ever buys that, you know.
No.
It's just a waste of time. You spend all that time making up the backstory. No one even bothers to read into it. It's bullshit. Quaid and the gang travel to the rebel base. They need to meet Cloatu, and they're like, oh, is this guy Benny? Is he cool? Is he square? And they're like, oh, he's got 5 kids to feed, so he's got to be all right. Also, he's got a claw.
So he must be fine because he's a mutant.
I mean, what mutant would ever be a baddie?
You wouldn't have a bad mutant.
There were bad mutants in the X-Men movie. Magneto was a baddie. Oh my god! There's loads of them!
So Cohagen's secret about the mine, the big mountain mine, there's a mountain mine on Mars and there's a secret in the mountain mine. Something to do with aliens. That's in Quaid's
And no one
brain.
knows what is.
So they need Quato, I think, to get this out of him, to make him remember.
Something that they allude to is that all of the mutants have got like clairvoyant powers and psychic stuff because they're the descendants of the people who made the original kind of colony on Mars, and they were kept in bad conditions and exposed to like radiation, so they mutated and stuff like that. They were going to actually use that as a basis for a sequel from another Philip K. Dick book to make a sequel to this Total Recall movie and tie them in together with that mutants clairvoyant subplot, which would go on to become Minority Report, which then eventually was completely unrelated to this. But yeah,
cool.
Minority Report was originally going to be like a sequel in some ways to this.
So Quato?
Quato.
Quato is a fucking chest baby.
Open
So your gross.
mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. I'm going to put my weird face on it.
It's such gross special effects. It's horrible.
I'm not going to say this more than once, and I don't mean to be a bit of a fucking Debbie Downer or whatever, right?
Come on.
And, you know, just between you and me, Sam,
Sure.
you know, I'm Rebel Alliance till I die, okay?
Yeah.
But I was really happy that they shot and killed him, because, oh, thank fucking
gross.
God. Yes. Oh, yes.
Fucking weird thing.
Yes, the fucking, yes, okay. I would have reacted if someone killed Arnie right at the start of the movie as well. When, like, he just killed him. I was like, alright, because he's so gross at the start. I just don't want to see it.
But he stays alive long enough to help Arnie kind of remember this weird mine, and what's in the mine is like an alien handprint thing that's a reactor that creates breathable air on Mars.
The reason why that son of a bitch Cohagen doesn't want it is that it will melt all the Tibernium.
He's got a monopoly on the air.
Exactly, and he doesn't want to lose that monopoly on the air, and he's making out that, he's with Project Fear here, he's making out that if you activate this and give everyone free air, it'll be chaos in the streets. It will be absolute anarchy, Sam, if you provide this basic service for free. Chaos.
Yeah.
They won't stand for it. The silent majority won't stand for free air. They'll be out there protesting it.
We like our private air. We get better air through private. We don't want everyone having air.
How am I to ensure the quality of air and it not be socialised air unless it is where a premium that only those can afford?
The taxi driver is a baddie.
Yeah, he's a mole. Dirty mole.
He's a bloody mole.
And they're like, you said you'd 5 kids to feed. He's like, I'm not even married. So I was
4.
like, well,
I can't remember. That's my cover story.
Because he's got a big insect army, might have revealed that. I've eaten those 5 kids and they were delicious. Like, give me yours, you know?
Yeah, so the weird chest baby gets shot.
We get the big reveal now as Cohagen and all the baddies kidnap Quaid and Melina. And the big reveal is that Quaid was actually put there on purpose by Cohagen and the agency. Hauser is real and Hauser is evil. And it's my body and I want it back. Hey,
Okay.
Perhaps we'll meet in our dreams.
Let me try and understand this.
Okay.
So Hauser,
Yeah.
Arnie, was working for Cohagen.
Yes.
And they... No, I'm already lost. They
Éowyn and Éomer went to Edoras.
No! And Quaid is a persona that was given to Hauser.
To go deep undercover. What he's saying...
They had to delete his memory.
Yeah.
For him to go so deep undercover.
That he could gain the trust of Melina and then be brought to Kuatu. And then Kuatu...
So they kill him.
Yeah, you can find kill Kuatu. The reason was because they couldn't get any mole near Kuatu before because of his psychic powers. But because Arnie has legitimately had his mind wiped, he's like totally pure and all that. And Hauser, I'm assuming, exists on like a USB stick at this point. Like,
they can get him back somehow.
Gonna get jacked back in there.
There's a video of Arnie telling Arnie that Arnie is Arnie.
Yeah. You are not you. You are me.
This is my mate.
You. Ha! The best mind fuck yet.
Yeah.
They strap him and Melina up, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna change her mind too. She's gonna be Hauser's babe.
Yeah.
Set the machine to babe.
Set Arnie's machine to that GIF that I've seen. It's time.
Oh, Sam, this fucking bit here where the guy's like, calm down, stop struggling so much. And then, Richter's like, see you at the party, Quaid. Like, all fucking, all cool and that, because they're going to have a party later in Hauser's honor. And then, like, he's all, and he fucking vibrates so much, he rips off the arm of the sofa and just plunges this pole right into the guy's face and neck. And he does it to another guy as well. And then he picks up like a stand.
Yeah.
Oh,
so yucky, some of the violence in this, but it's great.
And it's all like, this is the type of thing, I don't know, this is what I don't know anymore, Sam, because I want to find someone who's like, a younger person who's watching movies like this and has grown up with the CG. Because when I see the CG stuff now, and there's like, a million things get blown up and heads get ripped off, like a sequence like this, I just end up kind of going,
it doesn't really hit you as well.
It doesn't. I watched like a Final Destination 5 the other day, and like a lot of I love it for being so silly. I do
like Final Destination.
Yeah, it's very silly, but I was like, there's a point with a lot of it where I'm like, okay, it's like I'm watching a cartoon or almost. It doesn't feel impactful and real. Yet this feels so fucking visceral and like,
I think...
And I take back my cartoon thing as well, because a lot of times anime and a lot of very beautifully hand-drawn animation has that same, like, that visceral, real-life quality to it.
I think it's because, like, CG that I spy with my CGI is extremely realistic now. We're into uncanny valley zone, but we still, as humans, can tell that it's fake, right?
Yeah.
And special effects, like physical, real special effects, we can tell they are special effects, but we know that they're real stuff. We can just be like, that is physical, real stuff. We can discern the difference, I think.
Is that the condition of us being the age that we are then? Is that something that's only going to be with us and not with young folks?
Because I don't know how young folks feel about CG, but they've grown up with like worse CG. Because how young are we talking?
Well, there's the thing I heard the other day, and it blew my mind. It was like, oh, wow, there is a whole generation underneath us now. Like, we're not just, the youngest slice. There's a whole generation out there. They did this video games conference that there's like something like a crazy number of the players of Fortnite under the age of 15, and they all play it on mobile, on touchscreen. And they find a physical controller with buttons very cumbersome and difficult to use, and they report that they like to use the touchscreen interface. And I don't know if you've ever tried to play like a third-person thing on a small touchscreen. It's horrible. But apparently it's not shit. It's just old man Kevin and Sam and rest of the world, where the young folks think
I want
that's
my buttons. I remember when we had buttons.
The young folks think, Sam, that's quite frankly lit. Is what they think it is. So there we go. There we go.
We're not lit anymore. We're not lit, are we?
We're not. No. And unrelated to that fact, it's now time for another installment of Things to Enjoy When You Are in Your 30s. And this week on Things to Enjoy When You Are in Your 30s is a small walk at the start of the morning to kind of just shake the cobwebs off a little bit.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. You get exposure to sunlight very early in the day. It apparently sets your mood well. So you can do that when you're 30.
Okay, can't wait till I till I get there and I can take little morning walks.
Sam, I'm going to be 31 on the 3rd of March. No one told me that I thought that would be it. That I'd be done. I've done my time now. I'm 30. All right, I'm old. I get it. You didn't tell me this would keep happening.
No. Well, I'm worried that I'm currently 27. I'm dead Kurt Cobain years old.
Oh.
I've got like a month to get famous and then die, and I don't think I'm going to do it in time. You know?
Aww.
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I'm happy that Cinema Swirl has been a success, but I don't think I'm going to get into the 27 club on Wikipedia. So I might just have to keep living.
I don't think Cinema Swirl is yet at the point where your unexpected demise would like launch it into like another stratosphere as being held up as just unreasonably high for all this time.
Gonna have to wait a bit longer for that marketing tactic if we want to get all those listens.
And then I assume I will start whatever the podcast equivalent of the Foo Fighters is afterwards and resent any mention of your name.
Yeah. Oh, that's...
I'm sick and tired of you bringing them up.
Can't wait to listen to that podcast as they blare it out in massive arenas. I like Foo Fighters. I'm not slacking them off. They're all right.
Great line here. Come on, Cohagen. Give these people air.
They just want air. Give them the air.
They've been going quite a while without air now. The lads and ladies over in The Last Resort.
They're coping all right. It's been a long time. But I guess, air lasts a while. Even
they're savouring it is what it is, Sam. They're savouring it. Mindful breathing. Don't just breathe like a big fucking brain ass.
Yeah.
You can really taste it in the air.
Cohagen kicked over a fish tank and the fish can't breathe out of the water. Like the people in Sect G can't breathe. They don't got air.
Very
I don't know if that was anything cleverer than that. I just thought it was like, if there's another illusion there.
And then he's like, come on, Cohagen, give these fish water. Let's go to the special secret alien air reactor. This is like the bit where I'm like, if you were to ask me which of the versions I believe to be true, I believe the dream to be true. Solely because of this point here where he's like, let's go to the alien reactor. Like, where is that? It's like, it's over here.
And he just knows by magic.
That is such a dream thing. Like, that always happens where it's like, in my dreams, where it's like, we need to go to the blah. Where is the blah? Duh. You
automatically just know where you're going.
And I'm too excited in my dream to actually ask a question of like, are you sure it's there? Why would it be there?
Maybe it's not real. What is real? Is this real?
Yes, it is. This is real. Okay. This is really happening. And Benny is really in a big digger, so he is.
Yeah, he's come back to do a kill with a drill.
Hey, Quaid, I'm gonna kill you. And he's got a big drill machine, and then he's like, hey, Quaid, I'm gonna squash you.
He's very enthusiastic about killing him.
He is fucking jazzed to fuck, like.
Yeah.
Hey, Quaid, I'm gonna grind you up. You're the best. His best line here is he goes, remember me, Quaid? It's me, Benny. You were literally a minute ago you betrayed. Of course I remember you.
He just wants to be heavy and well known.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They write about his 5 kids in the papers.
Yeah. This is the bit where Arnie and Melina are getting all cut up by drills.
A little bit ground up. It's not it's a crushing machine almost, isn't it?
This might lean into the whole dream thing because he gets beat up and cut and destroyed, but he's still okay.
You know what I love?
Matter. It's kind of video game violence.
It is. He just ducks in cover and then he heals up and his redness around the screen goes away and he's all right then. I love that we have a movie which deals with Arnie may or may not be in a dream space, but either if he's in a dream space or reality, he has gone to fucking Mars and is trying to find an ancient alien temple, has been attacked by a mutant in a robotic digger machine. The whole movie, he's wearing a lumberjack shirt and slacks. Yeah. I love that!
It's great.
That's so important. If he was wearing a fucking spacesuit or a onesie or something like that, no. He's proper action hero because he's just looked like he's meant to be getting an ice cream for his daughter Chenny and feeding to a deer, but instead he's here. He doesn't even know if it's a dream or not.
Yeah.
Benny, here, screw you!
Because he's screwing him with the drill. Great stuff. And then Donald Duck is there, just hanging out, having a great time too. Nice little cameo appearance there. Quaid's next sequence just gets shot to absolute shit.
Yeah.
But it's not the real Quaid's hologram.
You think this is the real Quaid? It is.
Now that line I think I've heard before. That like, you think this is the real Quaid?
It is.
No, and the way I've heard it says like, you think this is the real Quaid? It is. Like that. Like
it's not
it's
that
like,
at
you
all.
think this is the real Quaid? It is. It's said with less like rhythm than that. It's just like, you think this real quote is?
Oh man,
It's me. I am quite.
But that line is iconic, even though
It's great.
He reads it like Arnie does. Like this great. This is one of my all-time favorite deaths in the movie. I don't feel like I've not done my job here of giving enough love for Michael Ironside's Richter. I fucking love his manic intensity, his big weird eyes. He's sleazy. He's ineffective. He spends the whole movie essentially undermining the main antagonist's secret plot. And then he gets his fucking arms chopped off in an elevator.
Yeah.
See you at the party, Richter! Boom! No one says they're going to see me at the party, motherfucker. I love that he's got his 2 arms. He looks at him and goes, 2 severed arms. See you at the party, Richter.
He's done like the screw you. He's done all these kind of consider this a divorce. He's done lots of puns.
He's no Sam
doesn't really have
Chaplin.
anything
Like
for the
he looked at that
arms.
and went, you know what? That's too many, and he just threw him down. You know. He resisted the urge you feel every day at every moment.
To make a little pun. I don't know what I do with 2 severed arms as a goof.
I've got to hand it to you. You know.
Right, there we go. Throw them back down.
And I'll be like, yo, Melina, don't worry anymore about it. Richter, he's armless.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on.
Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom,
You ever have
boom,
one of
boom.
those days where you just want to activate...
It's just one of those days. Sorry, wanted to say that.
I want a Jerry Seinfeld set like, do you ever have one of those days where you just want to wake up, everything smells, everything sucks, you don't know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off.
Ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, 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 boom.
So we get into the core where conveniently Cohagen, the ultimate baddie, is just there. Why he be there, I don't know. He just is, because it's a dream.
Yeah, but he's gonna blow the whole thing up and be home in time for cornflakes.
Yeah, which
So
honestly,
is this in the middle of the night?
because
What's
cornflakes make a
happening?
great snack any time of day,
Any
allegedly.
time.
You know?
And that brings us to today's sponsor, Kellogg's Cornflakes.
Oh, Sam, don't be teasing me like that. I want
That'd be
sponsorship
fucking
from
great.
Big Cereal.
Oh, I'd love to just get like packages of cereal in the post and
Well, you know
endorse
what?
cereal.
They're bad though, aren't they? Because Hugh Friendly Wintlebottom, he was outside the Kellogg's and he was shouting them, going, "Put on those traffic light signals on there. People
Yeah.
don't know what they're eating. Put them on
Yeah.
there, Kellogg's." And then Kellogg's
People
were
don't
like,
know where they're driving. Come on, Kellogg's. I don't know. Do I stop or do I go? What is it? What's going on?
and your Kellogg's were very, very demure in their response. They're like, look, Snap Crackles, stop. Yeah? All right, just...
That's their traffic light system.
You know, yeah, exactly. My traffic says, what, you mean more Rice Krispies? What's the matter? Aren't you full yet? Have another bowl, like, you know? Do you know how much, like, a proper portion of, like, cereal is meant to be?
Oh, it's so tiny.
It
It's
is
the
enough that
smallest
it's made
amount.
me give up on cereal.
Yeah, it's not a bowl of cereal.
It is
It's
absolutely not.
No.
So they try to activate the machine. Cohagen has got a bomb which is thrown off into a vacuum tunnel, which explodes, which causes our 20,000th big sucking air
Yeah.
coming out.
More vacuum moments here.
Cohagen, he's out, see you later, bye, and he has the worst one of all of the fucking head explosions.
Cohagen, mate.
Oh my god.
Sucked out the window into the scary vacuum where his face swells up.
And he proper fucking goes big eyes.
He goes big eyes.
Ugh.
He has the eyes of a man who's looking at a 3-boobed lady, you know, massive. Yeah.
So Arnie manages to put the reactor.
He puts his big hand in the little alien paw.
I spent a lot of time thinking about which fingers I would join up in what order, you know?
He does the index in the middle, doesn't he?
Live long and prosper. And I like he manages to activate the planet's air, but not
Yeah.
before we get to see Arnie and Melina go.
Oh yeah, they get a proper freaky. Their eyes swell up and it's
Oh,
horrible.
don't worry, they've got a breath of air. Everything's back to normal because
I don't think it's be back to normal.
the
Your face will be all
skull,
fucked up.
The eyes are very plastic features, Sam. They can change shape very willy nilly, you know.
Unless this was all a dream.
Or is it? And it ends with that little.
Is this a dream?
Is it a dream?
There's atmosphere again on Mars and humans can breathe on Mars. And it's like, oh, I've just had a terrible thought. What is this, a dream?
And you know what, Sam? He got the girl.
Fuck. And there's alien stuff. There's alien stuff in it, and they said there's going to be alien stuff in it. And you see ancient alien artifacts, and they mention it.
He saved the planet, got the girl, fought with the underground resistance, just like the salesman said. 300 credits well spent, it looks like. But you know what? I envy you, Sam, because enjoy your inevitable rewatches of this fucking movie.
Yeah.
If you watch it straight going, this is definitely a dream. And then you watch it again and go, it's definitely not a dream. It's different experiences.
Have two different experiences with this film.
God, I love this Total Recall so goddamn much. I fucking love it. It's so great.
It's great because it ticks a whole bunch of boxes. And I'm so worried about what the remake would be like if this film was made. And I imagine it was quite serious. I don't know. I've just guessed that from just the look of it.
I just don't want to watch it. Like, it's like if they say they're going to remake The Warriors. It's like, no, stop. Yeah, no. There's nothing you can do that will make it an enjoyable experience for me. Call it anything else. Call it a sequel even. Call it a prequel. Don't fucking say it's a remake, because it's just... No.
But the remade one of this, I haven't seen it, but the effects will be CG.
And they'll be from 2011, whatever the fuck it was that came out. Like,
and Quaid will be Colin Farrell, who I'm not casting aspersions on him as an actor, but he's not on.
See you at the party, Richter. Huh? Come here to me. I'll see you at the party, so I will. Fuck off. No.
And it's I imagine it's grittier and it's more treated more seriously. And not that this film isn't in any way a comedy.
You think this is the real Quaid, you fucking dozy cunt? Of course it's not. What? Fuck off.
Oh, I don't want to see it, because this just works on a whole bunch of different levels, and it can appeal to all sorts
to Mars. We will in me fucking hole go to Mars. We say get your fucking hole to Mars.
This is I think this feels like the quintessential Arnie movie, doesn't it?
It's
got everything.
If anything, I'm glad I've not shown you this first of all the Arnie movies, because this, if you see this before other Arnie movies, it would make you annoyed with other ones where it's like, why can't they all be like this? Why can't they all be, funny and silly and really like a romp? But also, why can't they all have this extra added layer of like, wow, there's like a little bit of extra meat on the bones of this movie's concept. It's got a world. It's got several layers of meaning. It's got really fucking cool supporting characters. Like, all the stuff here, which you don't get in, say, Commando. Because Commando, you've got, with the exception of maybe Sonny, you've got pretty much shitty supporting cast in a lot of it. You've not got like anything other than a very straightforward story. There's not like rewatchability other than watching a fun movie again. This is fucking like, I put this out there with the Thing in terms of it gets in here like a little worm into your brain. It makes you think about it.
I really enjoyed it a lot. I had a fucking blast.
Yeah. Would you say it's the best Arnie you've seen?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It ticks all the boxes. That was really good. And I'm so happy I've had this palate cleanser after fucking Lord of the Rings.
Alright.
I got a nice little pudding afterwards.
Alright, get your ass to Rivendell, mate, yeah?
I had to eat some gruel, and then I've had like a nice little Viennetta after.
Oh, a nice bag of crispy M&Ms afterwards. Like.
No, I don't like that.
Sam, it appears you enjoy the work of director Paul Verhoeven, who's given you RoboCop and Total Recall. Have you seen Starship Troopers?
No.
Ooh. God, Starship Troopers, Basic Instinct. There's a lot more Verhoeven to sink your teeth into. We may have to come back to the man from Austria at some point in the future. And I will say, Sam, I mentioned this before one or two times in Cinema Swirl. Please, if you are going to rewatch this, rewatch it with the director's DVD commentary that has Paul Verhoeven, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and a few too many Sunday afternoon cocktails. It's fucking fabulous.
Okay, I do have the Blu-ray. I bought it legitimately from the DVD shop.
Excellent.
Commentary.
Sam, you had a good time?
I did have a good time.
Can you totally recall what your Star Wipe rating might be? How did you get on with this? Let's sign this off. Let's put a bow on it.
I had a lot of fun. I had a really good time. I had a blast. I enjoyed it.
I'm not noticing any criticisms so far. Anything you didn't like about the movie?
God, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I didn't like about it. I think Arnie's Arnie, and Arnie has positives and negatives, but I fucking love him. I enjoy what he does. I don't feel like this is a perfect movie, but then I can't think of anything negative to say about it.
Like, I would say it's a perfect movie because it's imperfections, i.e. a lot of the reading of Arnie and whatnot, and a lot of the tone of some of his delivery is wrong, but that's like the special sauce on the side, you know?
It's silly, and there's great action in it, and all the fight sequences are great, the music's great, there's layers to it, but it doesn't still doesn't take itself too seriously. If you want to delve into it deeply, you can. If you want to watch it on a surface level, you can. If you want to just enjoy Arnie being Arnie, you can. There's great characters, great supporting characters.
See, I loved this as a kid, and then I loved it as an adult, because, like, you know, as a kid, I didn't think, oh, it could be a dream, you know, or it could not be. I just thought, oh, I just watched the movie and experienced it. But yeah, there's those layers there. But I want to know what your thoughts are on it. Is this going to get a big rating? How are you going to end us off here, Sam? What is the star wipe rating for Total Recall?
I can't think of anything bad to say about it. So, therefore, 5 star wipes, Kevin.
5 star wipes?
5 star wipes.
You heard it here first. See you at the party, Chaplin.
Oh, me again. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cinema Swirl. Just to remind you, we're on Patreon now over at patreon.com/cinemaswirl. That's patreon.com/cinemaswirl. If you become a $5 backer, you'll get access to our new show, Cinema Swirl, where we look at some really crap movies, plus some other exclusive fun bonuses for you. This episode was produced by Kevin, edited by me, Sam, and the music was also by me. If you want to check us out over on Facebook, you can join us on facebook.com/cinemaswirl, or on Twitter, that's at Cinema Swirl. If you've got questions, queries, comments, or you're my dad and you just want to get in touch, send an email to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. If you haven't already, please do subscribe on whichever podcast thing you use. If you enjoyed the show, please do recommend it to a friend, and thank you so much to everyone who's done that already. It is really greatly appreciated. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Sorry, I just realised here where I am on Skype, my little picture-in-picture thing, your shirt, the top of it fills in the top of my head perfectly.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's amazing. It's like, whoa, as part of me went into Sam's reality.
Yeah. I mean, that can happen now. Now we've watched Total Recall. All bets are off.